What's up, everybody? I'm still using Google Hangout, um, mostly to try to get a hang of it because some of the more in-depth stuff I want to do, this is going to be necessary. So consider this practice. But today's topic, the media, and what is the damage it's really doing? This is something Trump is talking about a lot. The media being corrupt. This is something I don't know if you've ever heard of him. His name is David Duke. He's running for Senate in Louisiana. He's also talking about quite significantly. And it's something worth paying attention to, even though I have to say that they are only scratching the surface of the real problem with media. So it's something that's been, we've discussed briefly before, not really in depth, but it's something that I wanted to go into a little bit further because it's been on my mind. So let's start out with today. Both Hillary, I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh. Hillary and Trump gave speeches in North Carolina today, in my home state, and both of them were streamed live on Facebook. It was amazing to see the reactions. There was no positive responses or comments to Hillary's. It was all angry face and like people being like, go to jail, I hate you, yada, 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 right? I mean, it was just outright sheer anger towards this girl in all of the comments. Trump's was vastly different. It was hearts and go Trump, USA, yada, yada, yada. Now, that's neither really here nor there. Take what you will from that. But rather than saying, okay, everybody's voting this one way, what I see is that the media portrays this to the complete opposite. And what the media has been doing this for months now. What they're doing is basically what I would say, and this is what David Duke has said as well, they're creating a foregone conclusion. They're presenting to the masses that watch TV and MSN and blah, 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 whatever news network you choose. They're creating that foregone conclusion. And they sit there and say, well, Trump doesn't have a chance. Hillary, don't get political shit mixed up in this, by the way, but just listen to what I'm saying. They're saying that Trump doesn't have a chance. Hillary's already won. And they've been saying this, and all these polls, are the pundit polls are complete horseshit too. They're saying, oh yeah, Hillary won. And from what I saw tonight, did not seem to look that way to me. Pretty intuitive person, and I would say no. So creating this foregone conclusion, what does that do? That takes the people that are on the fence or don't care either way completely out of the race. If I'm haven't made my mind up or I don't give a shit either way, and I'm kind of mindless media zombie, then I'm going to say, fuck it. I'm not even going to worry about it. She's already won. What's the point of fighting when they've already won, right? Now this is the mindset of millions of people in America for sure. What's the point of voting if Hillary's already won? And that's a way to sway opinion greatly. So I started out with more of a political media agenda, but really what I want to talk about is just media in general. But that's one very good example of how media totally, that's brainwashing. That's absolute narcissistic brainwashing to sway your opinion, to manipulate your opinion, give you the half truth, and then make you make a decision off of that. Why are you giving the half truth to people that are trying to make a decision? That's narcissism fucking 101 right there. I do have 4 viewers. Um, can somebody just comment for me? Because I whenever I do live, I don't see any comments, even if it's just a hi or something like that would be great. For some reason, I cannot see anybody's comments while I'm live, even though I have this big box here that says group chat. You think that would do it, but I don't know. I suppose we'll see. Well, now I'm curious. Damn it. Let's see. Maybe I can figure this out real quick. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Oh, wait. I have a whole separate chat box here. Oh, no, that's not it. Group chat. I'm just typing hello. Hello. I don't know why I don't see anybody else's comments. I mean, I'm really sorry about that, guys. I don't know what to do about it. This shit is so freaking dumb. Anyway, okay. So let's talk about the media in general. And like I said, we've discussed this briefly before. You know, you have an entire generation of children growing up without a mom or a dad, or mostly in some cases even grandparents to guide them, show them morality, teach them the ways of the world, which is exactly what parents and grandparents should be doing. This is what we've termed before as a lost culture, the Saved by the Bell culture. So they come home, or well, let's just say they go to school alone. At school, they listen to their teacher's rhetoric alone. They come home alone, and then they spend most of their night alone. The only companions they have are examples of society or culture are TV and internet. They're lost. This is the lost soul generation. They have no idea what's going on. So what do? They grasp for a culture. They grasp for a reason. They grasp for a purpose. They're in desperate need of a culture and a purpose and a reason. And they find it, guess what? Through TV and internet. Surprise, surprise. So now we're hitting the time now. You know, in my generation, we at least had a good maybe 12 to 15 years before all this became really problematic. So we kind of had some kind of baseline, but the generation after me, not so much. They're completely lost. And what you see now is a vast epidemic of narcissism. You see, oh God, I didn't mean to do that. Let me see one. There we go. Sorry you get to see my pretty face today. you see a vast epidemic of narcissism. You see, kids behaving in ways that, kind of is just confusing. As if they have no morality and they have no grounds, and it's all for me. And on top of that, you see an extremely high level of depression and social angst, and people just searching for a way or a path to follow, and they follow TV. Now, what happens when they're following TV? Let's look at what does common TV teach you? Now, if you looked a little bit deeper, you already know the answer to this. But I was playing a game with one of my very good friends, maybe a month ago, I don't have cable TV anymore. I refuse to watch it, but they did. So we were watching it, and I was like, it really opened my eyes to how brainwashing all this shit really is. So we made a drinking game out of it. I was like, for every cop I mean, I'm sorry, a cop or law enforcement scene that you see, you have to take a drink. For every pizza commercial, you have to take a drink. For every, you know, medical whatever bullshit commercial, you need to take this. Ask your doctor, you have to take a shot, so on and so forth. And I boiled down to about 8 things. And 8 things you just see over and over and over and over and over and over again. Well, another one of the things was every time there was a drama situation, like a high drama, high problematic situation, you had to drink as well. I mean, basically, you're fucked up in a matter of like 20 minutes. You just can't keep up with it. It's the same message over and over and over and over. And what is that message? That message is, with my background here, number one, there's something wrong with you. Take medication. There's something wrong with you. You have this condition. Go ask your doctor. They don't like. It should be fucking illegal for medical commercials to be out there. If there's something wrong with you, your doctor will tell you. You don't need a commercial fucking telling you that there's something wrong with you. The capitalism pizza commercials is one thing or the other. I haven't quite figured out the whole law and order type of scenarios where there's cops and justice system in every other scene. Then the drama, the Kardashians for one goddamn point there, and then you have the Bachelorette where or Bachelor, whatever the fuck the two are, where you have 40 people fighting over one person. All these reality TV shows. This is not healthy media, guys. I know escapism TV back in the day wasn't necessarily healthy either, but this is certainly not healthy. So what do you see now? What do you see in the world? And what I was thinking about today was dating. The dating world in America. You have this whole generation brought up thinking they're Kim Kardashian, super nouveau riche, tits out in the middle of public. That's their example of what life is, unfortunately. And that's what they expect out of life. So to bash on the ladies for a minute, the ladies in my generation and younger, y'all bitches think that, let's say this a girl is a strong 4, maybe 4 or 5 or 6. This girl is expecting a 10 because that's what she's seen on TV. She's expecting this supermodel that's rich with a Ferrari. It's simply not reality. You're a 4. The most you can achieve is a 5 or 6. Maybe a 7 if you do some really special stuff. Now, let me not just bash on the women. You see this with the men too. Predominantly, I don't see men being brainwashed by cable TV as much as I see women being corrupted by cable TV. But you see this with men in gaming. You have, for lack of a better term, and I mean, I'm even one myself, but whatever, you have these computer nerds, these guys that they just game 24/7. And let's say they're like a 4 or 5, and they're expecting the 10 supermodel that's portrayed in the game. And they literally expect this stuff. They think that that's what they deserve. And obviously it's not reality, obviously. But then we look at it and we have to say, what's lacking here? Obviously, what's lacking is looking at reality. And what is reality? The guy that's a 10, not only is he physically attractive, he's not sitting there playing video games all day. He's out, building a business. He's out at the gym working out. He's out socializing, expanding his network. you can't expect to have a 10 girl when you're a 4 guy, and that's not even only physically. You haven't even put in the work to deserve that kind of relationship yet. And, that's what you expect. And it's obviously, ridiculous. I even know a guy who's a computer nerd, and he's highly attractive, highly intelligent. And he's still expecting a 10, but he just doesn't have the other aspects that it takes to get a 10 or an 8 or a 9. He's solitary. He doesn't socialize. He doesn't network. He has no ambition in life. His only ambition is to play games. These are not attributes that get the 10. And this is where there's the cognitive dissonance there. These people think that they deserve something, and they're completely off base. They don't even have a clue. Like this, like, your reality is fucking skewed as it can possibly be. And then I see that, that was me bashing on the men, so let me bash on the women a little bit more. The women, they fall into the cable TV media so much more. The drama, man, if I could tell you the amount of, I rarely meet a woman that doesn't just love drama. Now, is this to say women are a little bit more drama by nature? Yeah, probably so. But more so, I think, because of fucking TV. These girls have been brought up to believe that drama is good and drama will make you popular, i.e., Miss Slutbag Kardashian right here. And not only that, they're led to believe that, using your sexuality, i.e., Tits McGee right here, also gets you attention and makes you popular and makes you successful. Uh, so you have an entire generation of girls flaunting their shit like complete sluts on Instagram and Facebook. And then, later on they complain about guys being dogs and only wanting one thing. Well, I hate to tell you, dear, but you're only advertising one thing. Well, what did you expect to happen? Like it, the disconnect is just too much. And then you have similar women, that they're in a couple hundred to 300-pound range, and some of these I know and I appreciate, and they're friends or associates of mine, and they're constantly crying to me, Nick, why can't I meet a man? I mean, what do you want me to say? Men don't want a 300-pound woman necessarily. Like, I'm sorry, but that's the truth. But again, they've been raised on this agenda that they deserve more than they actually do. They've been raised on this entire agenda to fucking have this surrogate reality, this alternate reality where, this 300-pound girl thinks she's fucking Kim Kardashian, right? And she deserves everything that Kim Kardashian has. Now, I don't even like this girl, but she's obviously an entrepreneur. She's obviously attractive, and she obviously has a very good social game. So, she's on up there in the scale just off that. But, you're 300 pounds, you're driving a Saturn Ion, and you never leave your house or socialize, and you're expecting, Brad Pitt. Hello, it doesn't work that way. People match at the same level. If you're a 4, you normally go for 3, 4s, and 5s. If you're 6, you go for 5, 6, and 7s. People match for that, and that's not, like I said, not only attractiveness level, just general what do you have to offer total. So you see this entire corrupt world of dating, and I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. Like, I'm obviously talking about it, but then you have Tinder and Bumble, which is completely superficial. it's a mess, and it's only going to get worse until it breaks. That's the unfortunate part. It has to break before it gets better. So let me move off the dating subject and move on to, oh, what was my other topic? I feel like I've been rambling for far too long now. Violence. Violence is one big thing that's always in the media. You could turn on your TV right now and flip through 10 channels, and I guarantee you somebody has been beat, hit, or killed, or murdered, or raped. It's making it acceptable. Now, I don't have a problem with some level of violence because I'm not a giant pussy, but I mean, it's really kind of ridiculous that that's the only thing on. I actually challenge some of y'all to turn your TV on right now. I guarantee you it's there. And again, with this generation, this lost soul generation that's looking for an answer and looking for culture, they're grasping onto that. And I mean, I have to say, 10 years ago when I go out to bars, relatively peacefully done, peaceful affair. Nowadays, it's constant fights, constant drama, people brawling in the streets, rolling around in the streets. It's night and day difference compared to what it used to be. There was always the occasional fight back then, but nowadays it is ridiculously violent. To the point where you almost don't even want to go for your own safety. Again, this is this lost generation that has accepted violence as culture. So, what is our culture now? After me saying all that, what is the culture of this lost generation that's learned their quote unquote culture from media and TV? Entitled, drama filled, lying, violent, egotistical, for lack of a better word, narcissistic, posting pictures of yourself, bragging all day. I guess that's egotistical, whatever. You know, unempathetic. If I win, that's all that matters. What is this? What is all this? These are the very fucking traits of a narcissist. And we wonder why narcissism has exploded everywhere, why it's everywhere. Guys, kids are learning off this shit. I mean, I hate to say that, it sounds sad, but kids are learning off this shit. So let me kind of wrap this up. I feel like I've been talking forever. What do we do about it? How does it change? Well, unfortunately, that's a sticky situation at best. In order to change this, you'd have to put regulations on media. And then, you're diving into First Amendment rights, so I really don't know how that could even possibly be done. But if it stays towards this egocentric, narcissistic agenda, I mean, this is just gonna get worse and worse and worse and worse. And it started around, I would say that TV and movies probably burst around, I think, 1920s or so. And back then people still were raised by a family unit, still raised properly. So you see that the even the movies then they're phenomenal. They actually have emotional content, intellectual content. And then as it moved on and on and on, it progressively got more and more simple, I would say, more and more animalistic. They stopped stopped feeding people's intelligence. They stopped feeding people's emotions, and they started feeding people's primal urges. And we all know that, the narcissist is ruled by primal urges. Um, you know, there's ways to mitigate this. I, for one, refuse to watch cable TV unless it's for study, as I've mentioned before, fucking around. YouTube is a great source for general entertainment and news. Unbiased. I mean, you're still going to have biased places, but less so than cable TV, of course, and damn sure less so than your rabbit ear TV per se. So, I don't know what else much to say. I'm still not seeing any comments, unfortunately. But and that media level goes into magazines, so on and so forth as well. You look at little drama magazines at the grocery store, New York Times, as we talk about with Trump and David Duke. I mean, it's getting completely out of control. I wish I could read y'all's comments. I'm going to take just a moment and try to figure out again how to read comments, if y'all don't mind. I just don't see anywhere for it. It's so confusing. I mean, I have a big box here that says comments, and nothing ever comes up, and I only start to see them when after the hangout's already over. Maybe this button does something. Oh God, what did I do? No, I don't think that did anything. No, I mean, I'm still not seeing shit. I guess that'll be for another day. Anyway, I hope you get where I'm going at, man. If this continues going on this path, man, we're just going to get more and more narcissistic. It has to break at some point, and people have to start reverting back to family units. I know for a fact that if I have children, I hate to say it, but they're not going to be allowed to absorb mass media in their early years, not until they're old enough to think for themselves. And during that time, I'm not going to teach them propaganda or rhetoric, but I will teach them how to freely think. And that's the only thing, me personally, I can do. It's just so sad. It's so sad what's going on in this world, and I don't see it going anywhere but worse until it finally climaxes and people get the point. Hopefully that will be someday soon. All right. Anyway, that's it.